This portion of Leetz Live is brought to you by Hodges University, educating the leaders of our community for over 20 years.
We have here in the studio Chris Chulakes Leetz. Chris, let's bump. Candidate for District 4 City Council re-election, right?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Lee.
First of all, after spending one term as a city councilman, why would you want to go back into that lion's den again?
Well, Lee, I had an awful lot of people ask me to continue to offer myself as their representative, and after 4 years, they convinced me that I needed to do that.
What did you learn from your first term that is going to enhance your experience as in your second term and what you're trying to accomplish as a city councilman?
I think the greatest thing I learned, Lee, was that saying no is always the hardest vote that an elected official can cast. A lot of parents out there would be able to relate. It's so much easier to say yes to an issue than it is to no. And I prefer to do the research, and when necessary, I'll use the word no.
Okay, we know you said no on a couple of things, but what would you say was your biggest no you had to say, and why you said that no? What issue?
Early on in my term, clearly the National Swim Center debacle was a very difficult no with hundreds of children in our council chambers. But having done the research, I'm very proud that we turned down that fraud that was being perpetrated.
Do you think that the citizens of Cape Coral understand your logic behind that no? And is there anything right now you'd like to enhance in terms of them knowing more about that decision?
Only that it was a great deal of research only to culminate in basically saving the city over $50 million, which we would have clearly lost. Mm-hmm. The people involved, the principals, are now serving 4 years in federal prison for bank fraud, which, because of myself and 4 other council members, we were able to avoid being part of that fraud.
Mm-hmm. What's your position on tax increases with the city of Cape Coral?
Well, taxes are how your local government, your city works. When they're necessary, I have no problem with appropriate taxing. But in our case, we've done an awful lot of mismanagement over the last decade or two, and it's time to keep our fiscal house in order. And we have done that over the last 4 years, although in the last 2 years we saw a bit of a takeover by some people who believe that taxation is the only solution.
Mm-hmm. You heard me mention this to the mayor of Fort Myers recently. The city of Cape Coral, at one point, it was the fastest growing city, I think, in the whole nation. Where is the city of Cape Coral in its growth now, and how is the city of Cape Coral viewed within the state of Florida and outside the state of Florida?
Well, it's always very important to remember, Lee, that Cape Coral is an adolescent city. We've only been around for 43 years. So in the realm of time, we're just a very young city. I think we're viewed very well. Our growth is going to continue for decades out. And whenever we talk about build out, I like to remind people that Chicago, New York, Boston, those cities are yet to be completely built out. So let's slow down and do it right.
Mm-hmm. You're adamant about the appearance of the city, and you made some points about improving the appearance of the city. Talk about some of those things.
Well, we're working on doing a better job on our design of the roads. We're doing a better job with our design standards within the city. So again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it always takes time to create a truly beautiful city. With Cape Coral's history and all of its available resources, it truly is a wonderland.
What policy that you enacted or brought forward in the city of Cape Coral that you're most proud of?
Well, there's actually quite a few, Lee, but one area that was in discussion for over 10 years when I was elected in 2009 was the Lee County Electric transmission lines, where they wanted to run those through our community redevelopment area or through a residential neighborhood. I'm very proud that with 10 years of debate over whether those lines should go in a business or a residential area, I made the motion and I brought forward the action that put those lines underground, which was the first time transmission lines have ever been undergrounded in Cape Coral. That's the future of proper infrastructure.
How do you go about making that decision when you know something may not be politically expedient for you to make that decision to go in the opposite direction, even though other people may say, hey, that could cost you some votes? How do you when you're thinking about that, how do you reconcile that?
Actually, Lee, I don't look at anything on political expediency. I'm there to serve the people of the city of Cape Coral, the citizens and the voters. When I do that, they come first, and all of the other data is second, third, and fourth. If I always think of the citizens first, cast my vote accordingly, then I know I'm doing the right thing, and the results will take care of themselves.
What do you think distinguishes you from your opponent the most?
Probably our experience. I have years of experience in business, in public safety, and also a great deal of college education. My opponent is young, and he still has a long way to go. I'm sure he's going to be a mover and a shaker, but it probably will be another 15 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm. You have not been silent about your support of veterans. Is there something in your background that makes you so close to the veterans experience?
Absolutely, Lee. As a veteran of the United States Air Force, one thing I will ask your viewers is please vote on November 5th, regardless of who you vote for. Our veterans have sacrificed their lives for over 200 years, and to not vote is to disrespect their service. So please support the veterans and vote November 5th for your best candidate.
What word in the English language would you certainly never use?
Can't. There is nothing that can't be done. I prefer to say I will always try to do it.
If people call that phone number on the screen, would they actually get to talk to Chris Chulakes Leetz?
Absolutely. That is my direct campaign phone number, and it is my personal phone number. So I hope they will call, and I hope they will treat the number with respect as I would do for their phone number.
Well, candidate Chris Chulakes Leetz, it's been a pleasure having you here on Leetz Live, and good luck in your campaign.
Thank you for having me back, Lee.
Okay, let's bump you out.
All right.
As Chris Chulakes Leetz just articulated, get out and vote, people, on November the 4th, right?
5th.
November the 5th, don't get it wrong. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Chris Chulakes Leetz and all the fine people at the city of Cape Coral who are doing it. We'll be right back.
There to do what the public wants you to the popular belief. You're out there to do what's right for the city, whether they like it or not.
I have endorsements from all 3 city unions.
My name is Chris Chulakes Leetz, and I approve this message.
Congratulations to Leetz Live, recipient of the NAACP Image Award.